for having me. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness!
How you doing? Thank you, thank you.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe you're here. I have manifested this. Manifestations work. We better watch out.
This is great. I don't know about Idaho or the El Camino, but
Is there somewhere else you prefer to reside?
this is good for now. I like this, with this view.
This can be our home.
So this is what I've been warned about. This is lovely. Hi, hello, how are you?
Well,
This is
please
adorable.
excuse his...
No, I've never had, this is like my favorite, this feels like a home interview now.
Yeah.
It really does. I feel like we're at your house and now we're just chilling and now we got Douglas hanging out with us.
I heard that you think texting is just a major downfall of, like, relationships, romance, communication, because I feel this way, and I was curious as to your thoughts about it.
So here's what I've realized. A few years ago, I don't know why this took me so long to realize. I realized that most of the time, when we receive a text, we read the text in the mood that we are in that moment. You'll get a text from a friend of yours, and their text will be curt. It will be quick, it'll be short. You said something long and effusive to them, and they might reply, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in a great space and you feel secure and you feel connected with them, you read it as like, okay, cool. But if you're not and you're having a terrible, you read and you're like, okay, cool. And you're like, whoa, what's that supposed to mean? And you find that text will be spinning in your... Like, people do this in relationships all the time.
I was going to say, is this a romantic relationship?
No, I find people do it with everything. Parents with kids, bosses with employees, romantic relationships. People are like, why did you say it like that?
Yes.
That's what I mean. It's all based on our attachment. It's pretty amazing how a text... So what I do now, just because I know I understand that it affects me as well, now a lot of the phones have a transcription feature. So if I send like a message to my friend, sometimes I'll send it as a voice note, but I'll send the transcription so you can hear how I felt, and then you can read what I was saying at the same time.
Just doubling down and making sure.
It's so much fun.
You're so good with your friends. The Surgeon General of the United States, Vivek Murthy, he came and he has this philosophy with his friends that he discovered called Moai.
Moai.
Moai is something that is very much encouraging of how to, particularly with men and their male friends, cultivate the garden of friendship. Is it true that you take trips with your friends and that you have a game when you do called I Have a Question?
So I can't even take credit for it. So one of my closest friends, Olisa, he has like this joyous, like childish way that he'll play with things, but very sentimental. And so what he'll do is, at the end of every trip that we're on together, whether it's Christmas time or whether we travel in the middle of the year, no matter when it is, he'll just pause our dinner, and then he starts singing a song. He'll be like, guys, I have a question. And we're like, the first time we're like, okay, what's the question? And he's like, are you ready for the question? Are you ready for the question? Are you ready for the question? And we're like, oh, this is stupid. What are you doing? And he just keeps singing it until we start singing it with him. And then at the end of it, he asks us a question that sometimes it has made us cry, sometimes has made us like open up in ways that we didn't know we need to. Sometimes it just makes us think and feel. And Olisa will ask us the question, and we'll all pause, and then it can be anything. He can say, you know, like, we were on this trip together. What is one thing you took for granted about this friendship that you were reminded of on this trip? And you'd be like, what was something I took for granted? And we sit and we think about it. He'll talk about your family, he'll talk about friends. And we always do that. And now we're the ones who sing it to him. He gets irritated, you know? But what it reminds us to do is not think of our relationship and our friendship passively, you know, which is something we all do as people sometimes. But we're very conscious about it, to go, this is not a passive friendship, it's a very active one. We're not just friends because we happen to be friends.
And we get along and we have fun,
exactly,
and it's great.
Exactly, we keep choosing to be friends.
Is it true that your mother is also excited to become a grandmother at some point? And does she put the pressure on you?
Oh, she's reached that stage where she's like jonesing. Oh, I never thought it would come. When I was really young, I remember one day my mom basically barges into my bedroom, kicks the door in like a SWAT team, and then she comes in and she's like...
Sounds like your mom from
really
what I know.
She comes in, I'm like playing video games, I think, and she goes, you don't have sex ever. I'm like 13. I'm like, what? I was like, Mom, I don't even talk to girls. Then when I turned like 21, 22, one day she says to me, I've moved out the house by this point, but we're having a conversation, and she says, listen here, if you get a woman pregnant, and now, she says, I will help to raise that child, but you will not be allowed to come stay at the house because you've just gone and made some woman pregnant. So it's like, I was like, I don't even have a girlfriend. She's like, too many people will go around sticking their thing into other things, and then they're shocked when there's a human being, you know? So
by the way, the second people stick something there, the whole texting dynamic is what changes. That's when okay, cool is not okay, cool. Maybe it just means what it means. Go on.
No, and so now now, this was the first time we're having a conversation, and my mom turns to me and she goes, when are you having a child? And I said, well, Mom, you know, I said, look, I have worked a little too much. I spent a lot of time focusing on work, and now I'm trying to find more balance, and maybe something will come of it. And she's like, okay. And then she was like, don't think too much about it. Don't, you know, she said, yeah, just have a kid, see what happens. And then I was like, well, I don't want to go around just sticking it into something. And then she's like, what's the worst that can happen? Do it. She's like, it's fine. She's like, it's fine. And then I was like, Mom, no.
We have to cut to a commercial break. More with Trevor Noah after this.